Hey guys, welcome to Celia's playlist. Today I'm here with producer and MC Nyck Khayo. Hey Nick, how's it going?
What's up, guys? It's going great. How you doing, Celia?
I'm good. I hear you're at a cool place right now. Where are you?
Man, currently right now we're in Austin, Texas, South by Southwest. We just did a show yesterday, day party, the Underground Fest. We're just soaking in the vibes right now, enjoying the atmosphere.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear you're doing some cool things out there. So Nick, tell me a little bit about your musical history. I want to hear everything.
Yeah, man. And I started making music about in 2020. Really started recording it. But yeah, man, it really started evolving from just knowing that I really wanted to be creative as possible, and I wanted to find a way to really communicate to the world, in a creative way. Like this is the only way I feel like I can really communicate and talk to people and tell them, this is my vibe, this is what I like, this is what I think, so it was just really a journey, what I'm saying, just to get the world to understand who I am and make a mark for myself as well in this world.
That's really cool. So, tell me a little bit, I guess, about where your inspiration comes from, because I know that you write your lyrics and obviously you produce, but where does your inspiration come from, and how does that process start?
Yeah, so it's like I'm a very visual person, so I love movies. So, freaking Sopranos, what I'm saying, Godfather, it usually starts with that visual inspiration, just seeing something visually and putting some emotional appeal to it through music. So, I'll usually like watch a show or watch a movie, and I can be inspired many different ways, but lately that's what's been happening. And I'll just write to, what's going on in the show. I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. So, I grew up, always seeing violence in my neighborhood, just seeing people just doing, drugs or whatever it was in the neighborhood. I just wanted to write about it and just talk about it, what I'm saying, and bring that to light and in my own twist and way from the visual that I saw in the movie.
I gotcha. I like that, it starts a conversation. Is that kind of like, your goal with the music that you're writing and performing so that you can start conversations and like, give people different perspective?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think art should raise questions, like it should like, not necessarily answer a question, but I think it should raise questions. So
I
yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha. I agree. So tell me a little bit about how you developed your I guess your delivery, your style, how you communicate the words that you're writing because I really loved it when I listened to your music and I would love to hear how you kind of came about that sound.
Yeah, it's really my inspiration. My mother, she was always playing oldies, like Marvin Gaye, just like the oldies, what I'm saying? Like that music, that was always on the radio. So I always gravitated towards just music that talks about love or, disappointment or sadness or whatever it was. And just like seeing other artists that I really like. I'm really inspired by really good writers like Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Big Daddy Kane, a lot of artists from New York, Joey Badass, what I'm saying, from Harlem, what I'm saying, obviously Kanye, what I'm saying, his beat selection. But it really came from that, just seeing what J. Cole can do, with the pad, and how he can communicate it and how he would flow on certain bars and how it hop in and hop out. I thought that stuff was so cool, and it communicated a bigger message than the artist itself. So I thought it was just so cool to be able to create something that's bigger than who you are actually as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I think that's really cool, and it really shows that, like, the history within the type of music that you also are performing, because you just rattled off an amazing list of names right there, and
Yeah.
I can see where that kind of inspiration comes into your music because with your performance, it pulls you in, and it keeps you listening. So
Yeah.
like with obviously like performing it and like creating your music, like how do you go about, I guess, the writing process? Is it kind of like coming up with a beat or a melody first, or are you a freestyle guy, or like
Yeah.
do you write out all of your lyrics?
Yeah. I'm a pen and paper, kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I always carry this with me. You know what I'm saying? I always got a notebook, what I'm saying, full of bars, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's just who I am, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it depends on how I'm inspired. I like The Alchemist, he used to produce with like Mobb Deep, like Schoolboy Q, and a lot of really good artists. So it might be listen to like something that he produced, and I'm like, man, like I can really like speak on this. I can really tell a story on this. I can really throw my brand in there. I can really throw in some metaphors and some similes. Do some wordplay, change the cadence a little bit. I can really do that on this beat, and then that inspires me. Or it could just be me. What I'm saying, sitting by the pond. Drinking a cup of coffee, smoking a cigarette or something or whatever, and just like finding inspiration to like write something down and then laying that on a beat that I heard that I already like. You know what I mean? Like it just really depends on where I'm at in the moment and what the universe has for me at that time.
I totally get that because, inspiration could come from anywhere. And I really liked the way that, like, people learn about writing like way back in grade school, and they learn about metaphors, they learn about similes, they learn about all of these things. And you know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I didn't learn anything in school, but like when it comes to creative things, you never know where those influencers are going to go. And I love that you're making sure that you have those messages and those larger messages in the way that you're writing, because like you said earlier, you can transform it into a larger message by putting metaphors and things into your music. Is there a
Yeah.
certain, song of yours that, you have something cool like that in that you would be able to speak to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even like using stuff like vowels and stuff, like like A E I O U. Like those are really important things to know in music creation. So like, yeah, like there's a lot of songs where I'm using a lot of wordplay, a lot of playing with metaphors. I have a song called "Nothing Lasts Forever," and that one, I mean, that's in my eyes that is transcendent because if you really think about it, nothing truly lasts forever. Not relationships. On this planet, nothing is really going to be forever. It's always changing. So like I feel like that communicates a bigger message, and that can be applied to like every aspect of life. So it's always relevant to you when you listen to it. Uh,
Oh, you cut out for a second. Can you hear me?
actually do that. Yeah,
Let's
yeah, I
jump
can
back
hear
to the
you.
top
Yeah,
of that
I got.
question. Jump back to the top of that one. We'll go back into it. So, tell me one more time about the song that you were telling that story about.
Yeah. I think I was talking about "Last Forever," right? That's
Yes.
kind of where I was at. That story, yeah, man. "Last Forever." I have this song, that speaks on a bigger message than what it actually says. Like, truly, nothing lasts forever. If you think about it, relationships don't always last forever. Friendships don't always last forever. Things are always changing. That's the one constant in life, and that's something that I just wanted to communicate because it's true, what I'm saying? And it can be applied to anything in life. And you'll have that perspective when you listen to it. I mean, I'm always playing with metaphors and similes in my songs. Like I have this song called Kingpin. That it's you got to listen to it to really hear the wordplay. But I pretty much mix a Rolodex and literally like a Rolex in one word, and it's I jumped back off from like a quote that I said. So you just gotta listen to it, what I'm saying, really getting that vibe and really just play that back on Spotify. But there's a lot of songs like that, man. But you really gotta be in the moment and just listening to it and just vibing to it, just having a drink, having a little smoke or whatever you'd want to do. and just vibe out, have a good time, and move your hips a little bit. No.
I gotcha. So I know that, like, we were talking before the interview a little bit about the fact that you also perform live and you also performed at South by Southwest. What
Yeah.
what is like that kind of experience feel like? Performing in like the things that you've written, the words that you've written in front of a group of people like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, the thought of it before it's a little nerve-wracking. It's always kind of jolting a little bit, like, but you like see like, man, last year I was in a different position. I didn't actually perform last year. I was here, but I didn't perform.
Mhm.
So it's just it speaks to the growth that happens, like if you really stick to something, like you can really see the work pay off, like that's fulfilling right there. But man, just once you get on that stage and you grab that mic, like nothing else matters. It's just you, the mic, and the people. That's it. And it's that energy right there it's like it's contagious, and it's so addictive. That energy that you have between the crowd, and it's almost feels like it's meant to be. It's a good marriage, good mirage. So it's honestly unspeakable, and especially if you're doing something that you love and you're passionate about, and you're speaking truth and you're acting on it, and people are like receiving that. It's like, I mean, what more can you ask for? It's the
Of
coolest
course,
thing.
of course. And like, I want to talk a little bit about that energy like that you get on stage. Do you feel like that fuels you to like, get into like a flow state and kind of just do your best? You know what I mean? Like I feel
Absolutely.
like that's a
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It is because like you black out when you get on there. Like I blacked out last. I don't know why. I got on there, and then next thing you know, I was done. It's like, it's like it's flow. It's once you're in it, you're in it. You feel the energy. You don't think. You're just feeling. You're feeling what the crowd is doing, what you're saying, how it's hitting them, and you're just like it's like a nice ballet dance. With the people there and the energy. It's so magnetizing, and it's really addicting. It's fun.
I feel you. I feel you. That's really awesome, and I'm glad that you got that experience because I know that a lot of people, are writing at home and they're creating and they're producing their music, but they aren't people that go out and perform it live. So I'm glad that you get the best of both worlds. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's too.
my follow up question I wanna circle back is I know that you also produce hip hop beats. Like, how do you go about that? Is it for yourself? Is it for other people? And like, do you play music or do you stick more indoors?
Yeah, yeah. Great question. Fantastic, especially the last question with Dawes. Yeah, so I actually like to work with live instrumentation now. So I'll have like bassists and guitarists that I'll get together with. Most of my songs actually are laid down with a live instrumentation and then transferred into a DAW. So I've always kind of had that niche and kind of that quality of music, in my production. So I'm excited to continue that and just to keep that moving. But mostly right now for myself, it's mostly in the DAWs, producing on Logic Pro. But I want to expand out more and work with some live instrumentation. I'm doing like a lot of classes right now, so I will say producing is something that's a skill that I'm still brushing up technically. Creatively, it's there, but art and writing and just making song, like it just comes really natural to me. So I'm continuing to work with other producers as well as producing, my own beats as well.
That's really cool. And I feel like it's a big benefit because you can, like, because you're making your own beats, like, or at least orchestrating your own beats to a degree, like, you're able to get that sound from out of your head into, like, you're able to communicate that sound out of your head. So I'm glad that you have that
Yeah,
system kind of built for you because some people don't have that. Some people don't know how to even
which
start
is the
that.
right. It's the hardest thing sometimes to even do that, to like transfer what's in your head, like in there. You have to know the technical, like to know how, you're creative there, but you have to know technically how do I carry that message across and put it in there. And yeah, so that's the hardest part, but it's also the funnest too.
I totally believe that. So, I'm going to ask you the question I ask everyone on here, and it's a question you could take in any which direction you would like. The question is, if you were going to give advice to someone that wants to start in music, however you want to kind of take this, what would be your advice?
Yeah, don't listen to anyone and just do what you want to. Straight up, like don't listen to anything, any advice. Just do what you want to do, and just put 100% into it, and just block everything else out.
So it's kind of like a follow your intuition type thing, right?
Yeah, because there's always going to be, someone say, yo, you should do this or that or that. But what I'm saying, like, it's at the end of the day, like you're the composer, you're the artist behind it. So you have to have the final word and say into the art that's created, because it's your art, and you're the only one that can, like I was saying earlier, communicate what the message needs to be, because again, it's your art, you know what I'm saying? So it's art. So I would just say trust your intuition, and lean on people. I mean, take it with a grain of salt when I say don't listen to anyone. Obviously, there's good advice out there, but I'm saying just be, understand that like people are always going to have their best interests. Make sure you have a really good team around you, the people that you trust and you can rely on, that you trust their ear, you trust their intuition. You vet them really well. Like vet people, bro. Like you got to make sure that you vet people, because there's people that will take advantage of you as an independent artist if you don't know what you're doing. What I'm saying? You got to make sure you stay up on your business, stay up in your book if you're trying to move forward, because or you can be eaten up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
A
that's all I'll
hundred
say.
percent. That's actually very good advice. Like, I mean, all of that was very good advice. So thank you for sharing that. And
Thank
I
you.
agree. Like having the right team around you is extremely important because, like, everyone has their vested interest in whatever you're doing, especially in the creative fields, because it could potentially be very lucrative or have a benefit for them. So having a good set
Yep.
of people around you with like a good head on their shoulders, but also like
Yeah.
they actually care and want to support the message is super important.
Exactly. They gotta care about what y'all doing. Like, what's the goal? So yeah, wise words. So yeah.
Thank you. So Nick, tell me like where can people find you, where can people follow you, where can people listen to your music?
Yeah, find me on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, the whole thing, Deezer. What I'm saying, Title. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. What I'm saying, TikTok, NYCKKHAYO, all one word, double K.
Awesome. So Nick, I hope you have an amazing time down there at South by Southwest, and you'll have to keep us all posted on if you have any other fun things going on there. I'm gonna have to check your story.
Oh yeah, check the gram. Lots of
Check the
happening. Check the gram. Y'all see.
Yeah. I saw that you had a lot on there before. But for everyone that's watching on here, make sure that you're following Nick, and I will see you guys at the next interview. Have a great day, guys.